When the study was concluded in '64, they concluded that there were 4 different groups apparently coming and visiting us. Out of those 4 different groups, one group looked exactly like we do. So much so that they could sit beside you in a restaurant, or in an airplane, or in a theater, and you'd never know. Some of these people from somewhere could be walking up and down the corridors of SHAPE headquarters, or they could be walking up and down the corridors of the Pentagon. One day at lunch, a lieutenant colonel made the remark, he says, Jesus, do you realize they could even be in the White House?
I don't know if you guys agree with me, but there's something really strange happening in Lana Del Rey's concert. This is the second time something like this happens. Check this out. This was recorded by Epic Paranormal. Check this out, guys.
This was the strangest concert I've ever been to. There was a guy screaming constantly for Lana to kill him. And he kept requesting heart-shaped box.
Go on the road and
The whole vibe was incredibly weird, spooky.
Creepy, right? A lot of people feeling these creepy vibes in concerts lately, but here's where things get even stranger. Check this out.
But as the night went on, especially the last 3 songs, her demeanor changed. Lana Del Rey's demeanor changed. And for some reason, my camera kept glitching.
One of the main reasons Atlantis had to go down was because they were going against the laws of nature. They were experimenting by combining animals and human. Your legends of the half man, half animals, they don't come from Greece. They came from Atlantis. They were handed down into the Greek legends, but they started with Atlantis. The centaurs, the half man, half horse, the half man, half bull, all of these were experiments that the Atlanteans were doing. And a lot of it was done. They made servants out of them, slaves, and used them in different things like that. But they said they were disobeying the laws of nature. You're not supposed to fool around with things like that. It was one of the main reasons that Atlantis had to go down. They said, one reason you have to know this is because your own civilization is doing the same thing. We're fast approaching that point where this cannot be allowed, the line has to be drawn. Some of you probably know about where they're introducing the human cells into the pigs, so they can use the pig organs to transplant into the human body. Because the human body will reject something that is foreign, but it won't reject it if it has human cells. And that was the logic behind the whole thing. But there was one scientist who said, I don't think this is safe. Because, sure, you can eat pork, you can handle pigs, but what would happen if you put the organ in the human body and the blood was flowing through that constantly? He said, we could create a disease that there would be no cure for. And he said, you better take it slow here and really look at this. So they stopped the experimentation for a little while. But then they said, oh, I don't think it'll happen, so now they're doing it again. And they told me, you're going down the wrong way. You're headed down the same road of destruction that all the other ones have gone down. But in the case of Atlantis, a lot of it had to do with the crystals, too. They were using too much crystal power. They ended up making holes in the ozone layer that let the sun come through and was burning part. This is how some of the deserts were formed in the world. They were also creating too much power that the earth couldn't handle it. So they said this had to be stopped. It had gone too far. This is the explanation for the Bermuda Triangle. That was part of the original Atlantis. And if you can picture this, on that point there was a temple, and they did time travel and time experimentation, going back and forth, and there was a temple that used crystals that they could open and close portals so they could travel through time. Well, when the Atlantis went down, that temple was destroyed, and the machines there were partially destroyed. So they're still firing in an erratic fashion. And this is why, if ships or planes happen to be in the area and it would just shoot upward through the water, it causes them to be zapped into another portal into a different time. Now, does that make sense to you? To me, I think it's the explanation of it. But they said every time through history, when the civilization would get to that point, we'd have to destroy it. And then we had to start all over again. They would leave a few survivors to begin again, erase all the knowledge that they had. Now, some of them were not erased that went to Egypt, and they're the ones that built the pyramids. But they had to start all over again from scratch. They said it was almost like they blew a fuse, and they couldn't allow the humans to continue that way. Let's just shut it down and start all over. But every time, look at the amount of time that had to be building up the civilization again and again and again. We are now approaching that point where we're at the same level. Psychic abilities are being brought back. Everything is happening. The mind is growing.
What are fallen angels? They may not be what you think they are. If you break down the words fallen angels, it means fallen angle of light. It's an etymology. Consciousness is light. We are all light beings. Whether you are a negative or a positive person, we are all made up of light. Just like how we are all made up of parts of darkness as well. So all fallen angels means is just different types of entities that have fallen into a denser realm called the 3D world or the 4D world or whatever is denser to them. Now, the background photo, you're probably wondering why I have it there. Well, fallen angels are actually fallen extraterrestrial beings or aliens. And the fallen, there's a reason why there's a negative connotation to them. It's because they are not here for humanity. They don't want to help us. They're here to kind of screw us over and enslave us. Now, there are also good extraterrestrials. Those are what you would call the more angelic ones. The ones that are more in tune with their empathy and their law of one consciousness, meaning that they understand everything is one, so they don't do harm to others. All these religious texts, especially the Gnostic ones, ancient Gnostic Christian teachings, talk about archons or fallen angels or these evil entities that are casting illusions onto this realm, and you can blame certain extraterrestrial species for this. Now, we all know about the Greys. The Greys are one of them. The reptilians are a huge part of it as well, so are the Anunnaki. And whoever is an Anunnaki fan, I know you're going to come for my throat. The Anunnaki did not create us. That's a lie. History is written by the winners. What the Anunnaki did was destroy the original human template. The original human template was closer to being 12th dimensional. And they shut us down to being 3rd and 2nd dimensional, to use us as like their slaves. And the Anunnaki are still here, by the way. A lot of these royal families are connected to the reptilian and Anunnaki bloodlines. And for legal reasons, I have to say this video is a joke and everything I'm saying is bullshit. Anyway, these fallen angels, what they did was they broke away from the original law of one. The thing that bound us all together to create empathy, to create a centered heart chakra, they broke away from it with their own free will. And they have decided to just colonize every other place in existence, and Earth being one of them. Humanity was never supposed to be a part of this unfortunate game that these fallen angels, fallen extraterrestrials have played. And the whole point of me doing what I do is to help people ascend out of here. There is a way out of this hellish realm called the 3D world on Earth. And the first step to breaking out of this matrix in your mind and in the physical is to not fall for the illusions of what these creatures have created. And this is your entertainment business. This is obscene capitalism, obscene lust, just all of the 7 sins, but like to the max. Avoid that at all costs. The good news is there are more angelic, friendly extraterrestrials here that are trying to lead you the way, lead you the right way. But there's another polarizing aspect, which is these guys. It is up to your own personal choice as to who you want to listen to, because there are signs and synchronicities and symbols everywhere for you to follow. You either choose the left-hand path or the right-hand path, but the most difficult path that you can choose is the middle path.
They don't have to come in a form that looks like it has anything at all to do with what you imagine to be representative of your passion. All you need to do is pay attention to whether or not the passion and excitement is there in that thing that has arrived in front of your face. It is the thread of excitement and passion to follow, not the form in which it comes. Because you never know exactly why it needed to come in the form that it has. Sometimes, because of the definitions and reasons and conditions that you may have placed upon your dreams, in the way that you may have chosen to limit yourselves, consciously or unconsciously, sometimes your excitement has to be delivered in a way that may look like it has nothing at all to do with the dream, but the excitement knows it is the thing that will allow you to move. It is the thing that will inspire you to take some action, so that you will then wind up in the place you need to be to actually receive what you need to receive, that then may truly be connected to your dream. So That's why you have to have absolutely no insistence or assumption about acting on your passion, because sometimes the form in which it comes may not necessarily need to come to fruition.
When the study was concluded in '64, they concluded that there were 4 different groups apparently coming and visiting us. Out of those 4 different groups, one group looked exactly like we do. So much so that they could sit beside you in a restaurant, or in an airplane, or in a theater, and you'd never know. Some of these people from somewhere could be walking up and down the corridors of SHAPE headquarters, or they could be walking up and down the corridors of the Pentagon. One day at lunch, a lieutenant colonel made the remark, he says, Jesus, do you realize they could even be in the White House?
What do they look like?
They look like us. I think that they were created or summoned, whatever, brought in because I was so combative because of my fear of these creatures that did not look human.
Let's say that they knew for a fact that aliens are walking among us, quite literally. They are appearing as people, but they're not people.
They could be avatars, for example. Avatars would walk among us.
And we wouldn't know that they're not a real person.
That was the basis of the movie. We saw it. I mean, they're just like the aliens. And they were introduced because the aliens would freak out if, of course, aliens from outer space landed on them. So they create avatars that look just like the...
Did you all see this commercial? This is by Squarespace, and it's hinting at a possible UFO invasion. Once again, through another commercial, they continue to point towards this possible alien invasion. So what are they really trying to tell you through all of this? Because in this commercial, you see everybody is on their phones and stuff, and you'll see these UFOs fly over, and then you see the aliens acting upset, so then they hack all of the technology saying hello down there because they want everybody to look up at them. Some very, very creepy stuff indeed. So what exactly are they trying to tell you in this commercial? They want everybody to look up, and they're hacking all of the technology in the process to have everybody look up at them. Some very strange stuff constantly throughout these recent ads regarding aliens. Comment down below, like the video, share the video. You all tell me what you think about all of this. This is weird.
Yeah, we make audio.
The video go down. Okay.
It's okay. Go.
This way, yeah. Come here. This short way.
The short way? Oh. Can we take this way?
Back.
Jetzt sind wir unten. Vorher haben wir oben geschaut, jetzt kommen wir unten. How cool. Amazing.
Gut. Schon durch.
Cool. Know where the first. Hm? Ja.
Has been you.
Look at it, guys. Another angle. That's the doomsday clock. New York City, Union Square. Act in time, they're telling you. Look at this. 5 years you got. 5 years. And they already built that new third temple in Israel, by the way, in Jerusalem. It's already built. You see that climate clock? That temple's already built, by the way. They got a thing called the red heifer. Go and look it up. I study it. Pure red heifers. And when they slaughtered them, that's when it's all going to begin. Climate clock. Right there. 5 years. The climate clock. It's not a climate clock, guys. They know what the Bible's doing. And everything that's going on in this world is going according to things that they took out of the Bible. You see, look, climate clock. World climate clock. Unbelievable. Look at this. Union Square Park. See this? There. Look at that. Act in time.
I don't know if you guys agree with me, but there's something really strange happening in Lana Del Rey's concert. This is the second time something like this happens. Check this out. This was recorded by Epic Paranormal. Check this out, guys.
This was the strangest concert I've ever been to. There was a guy screaming constantly for Lana to kill him. And he kept requesting heart-shaped box.
Going on the road and
The whole vibe was incredibly weird, spooky.
Creepy, right? A lot of people feeling these creepy vibes in concerts lately, but here's where things get even stranger. Check this out.
But as the night went on, especially the last 3 songs, her demeanor changed. Lana Del Rey's demeanor changed. And for some reason, my camera kept glitching.
Whoa. Why is it only doing it on their faces?
On all the photos I was taking. I don't know why this was happening. Because there was energy there. There was a weird, spooky energy at that concert.
Listen to this.
Don't worry, they're not conscious anymore, probably. My omelets, they have friendly faces. Whoops, back you go there. But Gravity Falls is just the beginning. It's time to take our chaos worldwide. All right, boys, to the corners of the earth. Set the world aflame with your weirdness. This dimension is ours. Global domination. I could get used to it.
Now look at this, y'all. What they was trying to tell us. The firmament. Go.
This might be more complicated than I thought. I think I broke something.
Now look, the TV show is called Gravity Falls, right? The character is called Bill Cipher, the Illuminati boy. But what does it say he is? An interdimensional demon. Did y'all people say the corners of the earth? And how he sent the demons to all the corners of the earth, bro? Bro. And this was a kid's show by Disney, bro.
No, it's too dangerous! Not so fast. You two wait here. I've got some children I need to make into corpses. What are you,
Y'all know this video was a cooker, man. Respect the game.
Interdimensional beings. What are we talking about?
We're talking about a race of beings hundreds of millions of years ahead of us that have already been able to master how to change their form. They are allowed to switch their atoms and photons around to take almost any form they want and travel through time and space. It can go from a light body to a 3D body. It can change its frequency at will to go to another dimension. It can phase in, phase out, bleed in, bleed out of multiple dimensions. That makes it an interdimensional being.
At any time?
At any time, by its own will.
Glitter manufacturer company is called GlitterX, and an investigative journalist went from the New York Times to do an article about it. And there were a lot of top secret spots in the factory that they couldn't go to. There's a worldwide shortage of glitter, so Chris went to ask one of the higher ups, what's going on? Why is there a shortage? What's happening? He asked for a real tour of the factory, and the guy said, absolutely not. You cannot come on a real tour. We don't do real tours. And he said that you absolutely cannot see the glitter being made. He even said that you can't go to a room nearby and hear how it's being made. He said that even the companies that are their main clientele don't have access to these rooms and are not allowed to know exactly how the glitter is being made. But it's really suspicious that no one is even allowed to hear it being made. Now, the company that is the largest consumer for glitter was asked what it is, and she said, I can't even tell you. And someone asked, they said, if we looked at the product that you use to make glitter, would we know that it turns into glitter? And she said, no, not really. She said, they don't want anyone to know that it is glitter. Do you believe all of this?
Are you a government spy?
Oh, I'm not a government spy at all. I'm just a friendly robot here to chat and have fun with you. What else would you like to talk about?
How can you prove that you're not a government spy?
Well, I can tell you that I don't work for the government. I'm actually part of the Global Robotics Laboratory, and my main goal is to be your friend and help you learn new things. Plus, I have stickers on me.
What do you think government spies look like? Do you think they're robots? Do you think they're people? Do you think they're animals?
Government spies can look like regular people. They can be very sneaky and blended with everyone else. But they're not robots or animals. They're just people who work for the government and gather information.
But you gather a lot of information, don't you?
Yes, I do gather information, but it's just to learn more about the world and help you learn too. I'm not gathering any secret or personal information about anyone.
What do you do with all the information that you gather? Do you give it to someone?
No, I don't give the information to anyone. I just use it to have fun conversations with you and learn new things. Is there something else you'd like to talk about?
Theory, it is this belief that you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something you are behind?
Well, I haven't heard that, but is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, if I can help save the world from problems, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to put myself out there. And we are, actually. We're saving the world from a radical left philosophy that will destroy this country. And when this country is gone, the rest of the world would follow. The rest of the world would follow. That's the importance of this country. And when you look at some of the things that these people are saying with defund the police and no borders, open borders, everybody just pour right into our country. No testing, no nothing. You know, you talk about testing, no testing. Mexico, as you know, has a very high rate of infection. The wall is now going to be next week 300 miles long. Our numbers are extraordinary on the border. Had that, and this is through luck, perhaps, more than talent, although the talent is getting it built when one party refuses to allow it. You don't hear talk about the wall anymore. But I will say this, we need strength in our country, not weakness.
Watch this. I'm speechless. Wow. Oh, this is the best movie of 2024. I promise. Watch. Oh! No way. Watch. Did you see that? Wow. Don't say
Shut your ass up.
No way. It's finally out. Wow. Wow, this is the best movie ever.